Greetings, Training Tribe members. You are awesome. Coach JZ here at the whiteboard. And what we're going to do today is go over the programming for the week of August 31st. So it technically kicks off our month of September, which is the first of 3 months in the first training block of our annual training plan. And in this block, we're going to emphasize endurance and to a lesser degree agility, while we touch briefly on speed, strength, and power. So what I'll do is I'll go over this information that you also have in your member programming document in both table and text form, and just try to fill out, flesh out some of this so that you don't have any questions and you have the most success with your training. So first of all, we are going to take a look at the WOW or workouts of the week. And so there we have the WOW. 2 workouts that we're going to utilize on a 6-day training week. And it's not arbitrary, that's why I put the question mark there, but a suggestion would be to perform workout A on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and to perform workout B Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, but feel free to adjust as you need as you follow along with the programming, and we'll be modifying and updating and upgrading these things each week. So first of all, workout A is our endurance-based training from an aerobic training perspective, or low-slow cardio mojo, otherwise known as low-intensity steady-state training. And we're doing that with locomotion, walking, jogging, running primarily, but you can certainly substitute in some cycling or other things if that fits your preference. But as a lifetime athlete, we want to make sure that we're developing your ability to locomote on your own 2 legs as much as is reasonable. So first of all, we start workout A with a warm-up, and that's 5 minutes at level 1. So we're going to be going over intensity in the future, but here at the Lifetime Athlete, we use 3 levels of intensity, 1, 2, and 3, and that's easy, medium, and hard. So it's not difficult to understand. We're going to go 5 minutes nice and easy, and that can be, again, super slow jogging. Our main goal there is that you're technically sound as you're easing your body into the workout, as well as the mind. Then we move into the drills. And what the drills do is they free up that mobility and that multi-directional control and agility, which we need as athletes, and they're fun to do. So there are 4 drills that you're going to do for 2 times 20 yards or so. And I prefer to do these on grass if you can. It's just a bit softer on the body, but if you don't have that available, a safe stretch of road or path is fine. Or you can go to the track if you like. You're going to do skip. And with the skipping, we're not necessarily power skipping for height and distance. We're just casually skipping along, working on rhythm, working on that reciprocal form that you have when you cycle or switch the arms and legs. So that's what you'll think about. You have high knees or moderately high knees. We're just working on loading the balls of the feet and moving somewhat quickly and getting the knees up in front, or a front side mechanics a bit, but it's not exaggerated there. Then you've got your side shuffle, and that's a side shuffle with an arm swing. And you'll go face the same way. You'll go to the right once, to the left once, or vice versa. Finally, we have the karaoke, or braided gait, or grapevine, crossover running. And we're doing that, again, moderate speed, just trying to limber up your beast. From the warm-up, we go to the main set. And the main set in this workout is quite variable based on your discretion. So you're going to do 15 to 30 minutes at level 1. So that's just a nice, easy jog, easy run, depending upon your conditioning level. And you don't have to be a slave to 15 or 30. You can certainly do 17 minutes or 21 or 24. I like to encourage that type of rebellious thinking, because the man's always trying to put you in the box of 10. I'm not the man. The accessories. Well, what we do for accessory motion in workout A is we do some strides, and all strides are light acceleration runs. So they're not blazing sprints. You're just going to mark off or estimate about a 50-yard area. Again, I like the grass if you can get on grass, even in your backyard if you have enough space. And you're going to build up to about 75 or 80% of your maximum speed for just a few seconds and then coast out of it. That's how a stride is performed. And we're going to take full rests, walking back to the start position and not beginning the next repetition until you're totally ready. So the goal is not to get exhausted. The goal is to get exhilarated. And then you'll finish with a few static stretches. And these are basic, and you can certainly modify or use ones that you prefer, but I like to do a basic stretch for the calf muscles, one for the hamstrings, for the quadriceps, the glutes, and the hip flexors. And those are the major groups that you're utilizing in this locomotion. So that's why we're going to stretch those. But if you wanted to do more, you could. And perhaps a hold of about 20 seconds each. Now, what are the tips for workout A? The tips are quite simple. You're going to try to use good form no matter what speed you're moving at, and also to relax while doing so. So we want things to look pretty and also not have you be tensed up or straining. Those are the main goals. And I'm going to bounce over to the KPIs for just a moment before we go back and look at workout B. So the KPIs, that stands for Key Performance Indicators. And these are the metrics that we'll be using this month of September in checking how we are developing our endurance. And so you have the horizontal push, which we're going to utilize push-ups for, and we'll go over more of that in greater detail in the future. We're going to look at a vertical pull pattern, and we're going to start off using just a hang or a dead hang exercise. The lunge, we're going to use an isometric hold, doing both the left side and the right. And we're also going to get in later this month, or this month of September, a 5K pre-test run, which we'll be revisiting in October and November. So that's what we're doing with key performance indicators. You know, stay tuned, we're going to do more of that, but we didn't need to cloud up today's wow with that. So now we're at workout B. Again, the days may be different for your schedule, and if you, let's say, only got 2 out of 3, that's still doing good training. The warm-up for workout B is the dynamic flow series of exercises, or calisthenics. And you can just follow along in the video and you'll see what I'm doing. It's kind of a rhythmic flow where you don't necessarily count repetitions. You're just working on your technique, doing about 30 seconds for each exercise. And the goal with warming up is simply to provide some full body readiness for the other training that's going to come in this session. I often say we need to do as little warm-up as possible, but as much as necessary to feel ready, to feel safe, and also prevent injury to some extent. So that's what you do in the dynamic flow, and you can always do a bit more or less depending on what you want. You can even do 2 circuits of it if you are loving it. Now, what we've got here is the main set in the strength and conditioning component of our workout B, and we're using an endurance emphasis in the resistance training. So again, we're being true to the block. So what you're going to do is circuit fashion, 2 to 3 circuits of the exercises, about 10 repetitions each. And since we're just getting started in the block and with the movements, feel free to err on the light side with your resistance and just concentrate on your technique. So we have, first of all, the goblet squat exercise, and that just simply denotes or designates the hold that you're using. Traditionally done with a kettlebell, but you can do this with a dumbbell as well. You can hold the upper part of the bell like so, with a dumbbell, or you can even hold it in what we call the brandy keg style hold, which would be like this. In a pinch, you can even do it with a bar or a sandbag. So whatever you have, let's create that win. So with the goblet squat, the goal here is to stack the rib cage and pelvis, keep a fairly upright torso, and try to work on going up and down through as much depth as you can comfortably control, and also for now not worrying too much if your heels come off the ground. Next up we have the Romanian deadlift, and that's just a deadlift variant where it emphasizes hinging, the hinge pattern, from the top down. So we're not trying to go all the way to the floor, but we're working on maintaining unlocked knees but stiff legs, if you understand that concept. Hopefully the demonstration shows that. And also keeping a fairly rigid trunk and arms so that that lever action is happening via the posterior kinetic chain, or all those muscles that we have on the backside of the body. I like to use a barbell for that, but again, getting started, let's create that win, do whatever you can. Then we have the bench press, and bench press I'm showing with dumbbells can also be done, again, other ways, but the trick with the bench press is to make sure that you're working through a path of motion that feels right for your shoulders in terms of how wide and how rotated you are, and we'll obviously talk more about that as we go along. Then we have the pull-up, and we're starting out the program trying to get higher reps, so we're doing the pull-up with assist. Some of you may be able to do all of your reps with no assist at this time, or partial amount unassisted and then assisted. That's fine. But in the demonstration, I'm just showing how to do the pull-up with a foot assist, and simply take a bench or a stool or a chair and put underneath your pull-up mechanism. The OHP is the overhead press, and I like to do that with a sandbag. It just feels very natural for me, and the goal there is to maintain good posture through the body so the knees aren't totally locked out, the back's not overly arched, and then you're working on pressing up and overhead and trying to bring the head forward in the arms as you reach that terminal height. Lastly, we've got the diagonal stance row. And so for the diagonal stance row, you simply maintain a rigid torso and angulate forward with a staggered stance, almost a warrior-esque type of position. And then you pull using your back, arm, and shoulder muscles. Following the circuits, again, doing 10 reps, 2 to 3 circuits, we do the isometric holds. And so those are done for about 20 seconds each, or a count of 20. You can use a timer or not, depending on what you want to do. And you'll do the lunge, holding the lunge 1 foot forward and then the other. So you have to do 2 sets or 2 times of the isometric holds with the lunge, because that's a unilateral exercise. Then we've got the push-up position, and we're going to mess around with that in 3 different ways. Hold for 20 seconds at the top of the push-up, hold for 20 seconds at the mid-range point, and then also hold for 20 seconds at the bottom of the push-up. Move into the hang, starting with 20 seconds this week on the dead hang, and then also assuming a squat position, preferably with the knees bent slightly greater than 90 degrees, and again, trying to maintain balance and keep an upright torso. We don't necessarily want you to hold a rock bottom full squat, because there's not as much tension on the muscles there. So that's more of a mobility test than, say, an isometric conditioning tool. But you'll find this to be easy to figure out as you move through. So that represents our workouts of the week. Wow! For the week of 8/31. And bring any questions that you have to the forum. So you can use the forum on the website. It's a private members only forum that you're registered for as a Training Tribe member, and we can either address those through the forum or take those questions into the master class. The master class for this week is going to be discussing the terminology that we use in training and the annual training plan to give a greater understanding of that, but we'll also have plenty of time for discussing all sorts of things like exercise technique and other items. So thanks again for being with me. I hope you get a ton out of this program and these resources. And until next time, this is Coach Jay-Z signing off from the Lifetime Athlete and the Training Tribe.